So it's that time of the month again. We finally have got the tech spoilers for the latest Boruto chapter, from resolving the cliffhanger of some suspenseful events to marking the return of Boruto and Kashin Koji. This chapter delivers some high stakes and thrilling moments. It's more of an action-packed one, with Mitsuki activating the Sage mode, Araya using the special blade, a female character getting stuck with the grimes, and much more. Unfortunately, there is no information regarding Kawaki, Amado or Sumire, which means we now have another entire month to speculate and theorize Kawaki's Limitless avatar and the mysterious role of Akebi Sanzu in the grand scheme of things. So let's get into the spoilers, starting with the chapter cover, which has Moigi on it. The title says Konohamaru-chan, which seems like a callback to the flashback sequence of chapter 18. The chapter opens with a blast from the past, focusing on Araya and Shinki, likely the same scene that was previously teased in the official sneak peek. They seem to be engaged in a serious discussion regarding the special blade used by Araya, the very same weapon that he utilized in the last chapter to slice through the iron sand of Ryu. For any of you wondering, this technique is called magnetic iron sand sealing blade, and to use this technique, Araya uses the iron sand of Shinki to coat his sword in order to unleash a slashing wave. And just because Ryu's techniques are similar to Shinki, Araya was able to free the people who were manipulated by the same material. The flashback indicates that Araya and Shinki were strategizing a coordinated attack using a combination of iron sand control and sword techniques to maximize their offensive capabilities. The story then shifts back to the present day battlefield, where Araya joins forces with Sarada and the others after successfully freeing them all. Seeing the sudden turn of events, Ryu realizes the circumstances are escalating and finally gets serious. Without hesitation, he launches a massive iron sand attack directed straight at Araya, intending to overwhelm him. However, Araya remains composed and skillfully counters the attack by using the special sword technique to disperse the incoming iron sand wave, which leads to neutralizing the threat in an instant. Meanwhile, Sarada steps in and unleashes a powerful fire-style attack at Ryu. However, he quickly counters by releasing an iron sand shield, completely blocking the attack before it could reach him. Seeing this as an opening, Mitsuki attempts to bind the Shinju using his snakes, trying to hold him down. Without wasting any more time, he immediately activates Sage mode and prepares to launch a charged attack. But unfortunately for him, Ryu dodges the move with ease by turning himself into iron sand. The Shinju's body starts reforming with iron sand, and Mitsuki seems to have landed a hit. Sensing another opportunity, Sarada activates her Sharingan and moves in for a Chidori strike, hoping to break through the defenses of Ryu. However, just like before, the Shinju once again turns his body into iron sand, negating the impact and proving that Chidori alone is not enough to take him down. We are then taken to Konohamaru and Masuri, where an entirely different confrontation is unfolding. The Shinju woman is visibly angered, seemingly frustrated over the fact that Konohamaru only lets Moigi to address him by that particular name. Meanwhile, Kashin Koji reaches out to Aida, inquiring about the current situation. In response, Aida delivers an alarming update. She warns him that Konohamaru is in grave danger and could potentially be devoured at any moment. When Kashin Koji and Boruto ask about the state of Sarada and the others, Aida reassures them that the group is holding their own for now. However, she once again emphasizes that Konohamaru is troubled. Realizing the severity of the situation, Boruto instinctively wants to intervene and help Konohamaru, but Koji stops him, seemingly suggesting that Boruto's interference could make things worse or disrupt their overall strategy. The scene then cuts away to the Shinju dimension, where a cryptic conversation unfolds between Jura, Hidari and Mamushi. For some unknown reasons, their discussion revolves around the concept of love, leaving everyone puzzled as to what relevance this might have to the ongoing plot. Back to the battlefield, we see Araya using his blade skillfully again, holding off Ryu's relentless iron sand formations. However, just when it seems like Araya has things under control, Ryu unveils a hidden trump card by suddenly summoning multiple claw grimes from his sleeve, adding a new layer of danger to the fight. Sarada and Mitsuki react immediately, attempting to fight back against the swarm of claw grimes using a combination of fire style and sage mode techniques. However, despite their best efforts, the sheer number of claw grimes proves overwhelming, and as the battle reaches a critical point, Yoro finds herself in a grave danger as the claw grime approaches to bite her. Seeing this, Araya rushes in to save her, attempting to strike the claw grime with his special blade, but in a shocking turn of events, his sword gets stuck within the claw grime's body, rendering it useless. Ryu immediately seizes the opportunity, using his abilities to teleport the claw grimes back to himself, effectively disarming Araya and preventing him from using his most powerful weapon. Now, with their strongest weapon taken away, way, the shinobi find themselves in an incredibly dangerous and disadvantageous position. With no effective counter to the iron stand of Ryu, their survival is now at a serious risk. The chapter concludes with Matsuri telling Konohamaru that it's the time to become one, meaning that a Shinju devouring its instinctual target fuses both of them into a singular entity. Overall, I thought this chapter was just okay. It didn't quite live up to the month-long wait. There were definitely some elements that could have been added to make it more satisfying and impactful. When chapters are released as text, they often feel a bit underwhelming, so I'm hopeful the final version will offer more in terms of action and development. For instance, the conversation between Matsuri and Konohamaru could reveal something crucial. There's also the possibility of some more flashback sequences of Moegi, or even Konohamaru finally revealing his true feelings for her, which would certainly add some emotional depth to the situation. One positive takeaway from this chapter is that one of my predictions from the last video has came true. The Shinju appears to merge with its prey after devouring them, much like how Momoshiki absorbed Kinshiki back in the day. It seems like after this fusion, the god trees retain their dominance, meaning the victim may cease to exist altogether. This is definitely an intriguing development, and I highly recommend you to check out my previous video to find out more about these interesting possibilities. Moreover, the pacing and placement of this chapter reminds me of chapter 76, which was highly criticized by everyone for slowing down the story, but everything escalated just a single chapter later, as three of the biggest time skip mysteries got solved, that too one after another. The mysteries being the whereabouts of Naruto, the mischievous scar, and the reason Boruto goes rogue. So even though this chapter did not offer much, we should be hopeful for the next one, as it brings the series to a total of 100 chapters. One thing that I couldn't help but notice during the confrontation between Ryu and the others is that Sarada is still not getting the spotlight that she truly deserves. They could have used this opportunity to showcase her secret training, perhaps even having her unlock the Mangekyo Sharingan to defeat Ryu, but sadly that did not happen. Instead, she used the basic Sharingan to land a blow on the Shinju, which is kinda not that impressive considering the fact that she has evolved this eye long ago. So no Mangekyo for this arc, I believe, and maybe Kawaki would be the one to steal the show at the very end. Moreover, the strategy of Kashin Koji makes me scratch my head. He knows for a fact that ordinary shinobi cannot defeat these overpowered Shinjus, yet he advised Shikamaru to go with this plan. The reason the Hokage had faith in this strategy is due to the possibility of the Shinjus lowering their guard just to face a sweet betrayal. But now that things have went this far, I believe Kashin Koji is trying to test some other waters, likely the ones that we cannot see at this point. It could have something to do with Kawaki, but since he can't be at two places at once and Boruto is not allowed to enter the fight, what if all of this was done to make Konohamaru and Matsuri become one? Could it be that Kashin Koji wants to test the resilience of the Shinju by making their instinctual targets take them over? Let me know what you think about Koji's strategy in the comments. Talking about the sneak peek panel which was released earlier, it seems like Araya knows that Yodo likes Shinki, but Shinki seems to acknowledge that Araya himself likes her. But if two people like the same person, it could be a hint that one of them needs to die. So looking at how Araya went against Ryu and even got his sword taken away, what if his death has been written by the hands of his Shinju counterpart of his lifelong teammate? It would explain why he was given all the spotlight at first place. All of it was done to put an end to his legacy in the most respectable manner. Like what if he ends up formulating a move or technique which would kill both himself and Ryu? This would add a lot of emotional depth to their team, as Shinki would always see himself as the killer of his friend, making him take a very cold approach against the Shinjus. Another big possibility that I see in here is that someone might come to the rescue of Konohamaru and Team 7 in the next chapter. The most surprising part being that this person is neither Boruto nor Kawaki, and he could just appear out of nowhere to get rid of the Shinjus for the good. It's either that, or maybe Jura would himself intervene to make things a bit more interesting. There is a huge reason for me to believe in this Jura theory. The Shinju boss is currently at the hideout, chilling with his comrades. I don't think he would have appeared to kill the shinobis, even if Boruto himself appeared. But the fact that Koji is stopping Boruto from going, it seems like there's a 100% chance for Jura to make an appearance. So could it be that the Shinju boss would appear out of nowhere, which will lead to a deciding point in the story? Maybe Kashin Koji knows that Jura will soon appear to take the events into a completely different yet favorable direction. I will soon bring a review of this whole chapter where I will discuss many more things, so make sure to subscribe to not miss that, and do check out these videos as well. I will see you next time.